As a result of Jesus' conversation with the Samaritan woman, her bold witness in town, and the people's curiosity, many became believers. Jesus' proof was compelling. John was convinced and believed. The Samaritans were convinced and believed. And since that time, so have millions of others. And now the first question that each of us must ask is, have I believed in Jesus? Have I received the living water? If your answer is no, you are not alone. Many are searching, seeking, and questioning. The good news is that no matter who you are, Jesus offers you his living water, new life, and new purpose. Same Jesus that we have just read about, who ignored the boundaries of religion set up to judge who was and wasn't acceptable to God, still ignores those boundaries, still says, no matter who you are, come and drink of the living water. Come with me and be part of the kingdom of God. For those of you who have already received the living water of Christ, the question to you today is, what are you doing with it? Are you keeping it for yourself? Or are you, like the woman, going out and telling others to come and see? We can't keep it to ourselves. We can't keep the message of a life-changing encounter with Jesus within the walls of this church building and expect people to come to this building at 9:30 on a Sunday morning and find Jesus. The Samaritan woman's encounter with Jesus happened outside of the temple, outside of the church, if you will. It could have never happened within the walls of the Jewish temple, for she would have never in a million years set foot in that temple. She knew how the Jews felt about her. She knew they hated her, not for something she had done, but for who she was. Franklin Circle is an incredible example of what the church is called to be. Not only is it a place where we can come and receive strong, doctrinally sound, empowering messages from Pastor Allen, but as we look around, we see black, white, Latino, gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, single, married, widowed, divorced, rich, poor, homeless, those who have grown up in the church, those who have been hurt deeply by the church but have found a place of safety where they can reconnect with Christ, those who are new to the faith, and those who are still investigating the faith. Everyone is welcomed and celebrated here. Come and drink from the water of life. Here, everyone matters to us because everyone matters to God. Sadly, this church is in the minority. And like the Samaritan woman, there are multitudes of people who would never in a million years set foot in a church. They know how the church feels about them. They know how those Christians feel about them. They feel judged and hated for who they are. This is not just a passing observation on my part. David Hinkelman and Gabe Lyons report their findings in a book. It's called Unchristian: What a New Generation Really Thinks About Christianity and Why It Matters. Their in-depth scientific and statistical research shows that a majority of those outside of Christianity, especially young adults, have little trust in the Christian faith, and esteem for the lifestyle of Christ followers is quickly fading. They reject Jesus because they have been rejected by Christians. 1/5 of those outside of the Christian faith, regardless of age, have admitted that they have had a bad experience in a church or with a Christian that gave them a negative image of Jesus Christ. This represents nearly 50 million adult residents of this country who admit they have significant emotional or spiritual baggage from past experiences with so-called Christians. National surveys of young people outside the church have reported these following findings. The 3 most common perceptions of present-day Christianity are: anti-homosexual, 91%; judgmental, 87%; and hypocritical, 85%. This is the current status of today's church through the eyes of the Lord. 91% think that we hate gay people. This is why most people will never set foot in a church of their own decision. Because 87% of them feel judged by us. This is the reality. And it may not be fair, and we may not have asked for it, but it is now our job to go out and to overcome the negative messages that the church has been portraying. It is now our job to show the world the real Jesus. The Jesus who loves, the Jesus who accepts, the Jesus who changes lives, the Jesus who invites everyone to join him in the work of his kingdom. As we experience the river of living water flowing here at Franklin Circle, we cannot confine it to this building. For just like a pond, if the water only flows in and does not flow out, it becomes stagnant and unusable. And the church is just like that pond. If we do not have a flow out, we become stagnant and unusable. We cannot keep the message of Jesus within the walls of this church. We cannot let our fears, our traditions, or our comforts hold us back. We, as Christ followers, must be willing to say yes to God's call on our lives, to go out, to share the message of his love with those who do not yet know. As we saw in the introduction, the Apostle John had his faults, and yet God used him. The Samaritan woman, though rejected by society, was used by God to bring her whole village to faith in Jesus as the Messiah. And now, it is our turn to be used. How will we respond to Jesus? As Scott sings this next song, I would like to ask everyone if they would close their eyes and take this time to respond to Christ. For some, today may be a day of taking a first step. A simple prayer to say, I need to learn more about you, Jesus, and your living water. For others, today may be a day when you change the course of your journey. And instead of moving toward Christ, you decide that today begins your journey with Christ. Your prayer can simply be, Jesus, let's do this together. And some here know that Christ has called you to more, but there are certain things in your life that are holding you back from fully surrendering to Christ's call on your life. And maybe today is the day that you say, help me, God. Help me overcome my fears, my traditions, my need for comfort, my need to play it safe. And for some, God has already been speaking to your heart over the past months, shaping you, preparing you, telling you to get ready, because I'm going to use you. And today may be the day for you to pray. Here I am. Use me. Let us respond in our hearts as God says. want to know more about you, Jesus. I want to begin my journey with you, Jesus. God, I need your help to overcome certain things in my life that are holding me back. For here I am, use me. Whatever your prayer was, I encourage you to share it with one other person this week. Don't just keep it to yourself. You don't have to share all of the details, but sometime this week, let a friend know how you have responded to Jesus. Find a prayer partner this week who will pray for you as you pray for them, who will encourage you as you encourage them, and who will help you grow as you help them. Now let us all stand as one family, as together we respond by singing hymn number 452, Here I Am.